We're live. Excellent.
There we go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Of course, to all my players and anybody who is watching and going to be watching our stream. It's our second stream today, and we're going to pick up where we left off last week. Before we pick it up, I'm going to give it to our announcement broadcaster, Nim. Please give us the information that we want to share with everybody.
Okay, so we got some great news. Those of you who have followed us on Twitter might already know this, but we can now be found at multiple platforms. So you can now listen to our stream in the best way that best suits you. We can be found live at Twitch, which is our main streaming platform, as well as YouTube, and there you can watch us live. If you can't make the live stream or our episodes, if you can't make our live stream, our episodes can be replayed at any time on either of these platforms. If you prefer to listen, don't worry. We can also be found at podcast.com, Apple Podcasts, and, as soon as it gets approved, Google Podcasts. All you need to do is to find us is to type in Armour Class 0, that's Armour with a U. For updates of when we start streams, when our sessions are available at different platforms and other news, follow us at Twitter at armourclass.0. Don't forget, Armour with a U. Check out the window in the bottom left corner to be able to find us.
Brains, you need to point at something.
Bottom left corner.
There you go.
There you go.
We rehearsed.
Totally noticeable.
So I was too busy watching.
Yeah. Anyway, our second announcement. As you guys might know, next weekend is Christmas that's coming up. Or not even weekend, but next week. So next week our weekly session will be slightly different from our normal sessions due to the fact that it's Christmas. Some of us, or more specifically our dear DM, will be away celebrating the holiday with friends and families and can't make the stream. But fear not, instead we will do a Christmas special. Just for you guys. We will do a few reveals of exciting new features we will implement in our streams and just hang out. We will talk about the experience so far, what we think is going to happen, and answer viewer questions if we gotten some. Don't forget, you can also ask questions live at Twitch when we stream next week at 19 p.m. GMT. Our sessions will be back to regular after New Year's, so don't miss the Christmas special next week and our third regular session, 3rd of January 2019. I just realized it might be the 2nd January. Yeah, 2nd of January 2019. Scratch that, 2nd of January. And the third announcement is actually just a normal thank you. We want to thank you watchers and viewers and new followers for following us and checking out our stream. We're excited to share this with you. And that's me done.
All right. Excellent. Thanks so much.
I can put this away.
Anybody else has anything to say before we get started?
No.
No?
Thank you.
Excellent. Then let's catch up. As we last left our heroes, they have gathered together at a small farm outside of also a small village. And they were alerted there because a young girl came into the town and said that her parents were attacked. So the heroes went over there, and as they did, they found that the farm was empty, and it was actually most likely booby-trapped. At least the door was booby-trapped, and there was oil spread out all over the floor. And they found that there was a trap door leading down. And taking no chances, they decided that it would be a good idea. Well, actually, few of them decided that it was a good idea to throw a firebolt into this oiled farm and have it ignite.
It was a group decision.
Well, we still have the images, so we can look back on it. So while this farm, of course, took light and started burning, it was Gemini who decided that it might be also be a good idea to check out the stables that were not that far away from there. Freed some cows from their panic, and found a specific something that was kind of out of place in this farm, namely a nice box with quite expensive small jars in it. And the others were still fighting the fire, and that's pretty much where we left off. So that's where we should pick up. And Ely, Varen, and Vince, the three of you are busy throwing water on the fire. You, Ely, are using your prestidigitation to kill as much fire as you can. And is there anything particular you guys do or change your actions?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I just keep filling buckets.
Keep fighting fire,
Yeah. I don't want the fire to spread. But if it looks like it's gonna stop spreading, I might look around a bit more.
Okay. Now the fire at this point is still going quite hard. You have the idea that it's pretty much at its peak right now. Everything that can burn is burning. So once that fuel is gone and you guys keep it contained, it should start dying out relatively quickly. Gemini, do you do anything particular?
Yes.
Do you join or?
No.
No, of course not.
No, Gemini's going to look over the box of vials, see if he can find any residue or anything in the vials, anything like that that might ascertain the nature of what they are.
All right. Throw your investigation.
Yep. Come on, new dice.
Ooh, new dice.
Ooh, new dice.
Yes. Yeah.
Natural 20.
Let's see here. Investigation. That's an 11.
An 11. The vials seem very clean. You don't think they've ever been used, and it's clear that somebody's taken care that these things have been stowed away clean and proper. Also, you will probably notice that the stopper that you put in the little vial, it is it connects really well. So it prevents if anything would be in it, like liquid or something, it would prevent it from coming out. The vial would really have to break, or the stopper would not have to been put in properly for anything to come out.
Can I go get some of that water and put it in the vial?
Sure. You go over to where the two guys are pumping water, and just excuse me. You dip in your little vial.
Pardon me.
Yeah, just look around and I go, I don't think that's going to do too much.
Okay.
We've got buckets here. You can use the bucket.
You see Gemini approaching. He has like these vials that are about this big, and you see him like bloop, pressing it into one of your buckets, and it's you barely noticed. You really don't notice anything coming out of it. Just him pushing it in. Your vial is filled with water.
And there's nothing strange about the water, nothing like that?
Nope.
All right, I'm going to pour it on the fire.
Okay, you walk over to the fire and pour it on, and the fire dies. No.
If that had worked, we would have never heard the end of it.
Yeah.
Very good.
No, you have the feeling that the water almost immediately before it hits the fire, you're like, yeah.
Okay. I'll recork it, put the box away real secure, and start helping with the fire.
Okay. Where do you put the box away? Because it's like a box of this big and this deep. So it's not like something you just put in your pocket.
Right. That's a good question. I have a backpack. I could shove it in there, but I also have other stuff in that backpack.
Exactly. It would probably fit, but your backpack would have to be really empty for it to fit into it.
I will take out the 50 feet of rope that I have and tie it to my backpack.
Okay. Usually, I assume that a rope like that would not be in your backpack, but more like connected to your belt or
Right.
something.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just gonna tie the box to the backpack, like to the
Oh,
backpack.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you use the rope to tie the box to your backpack.
Yes.
Okay. So your backpack is more or less doubled in size at this point.
Yes.
Did anyone ever
Okay.
watch Labyrinth? I've just got that image in my head of the the woman that has all the junk on her back.
Yeah.
Just got that image. You just cut across this
Yeah.
massive chest on her back.
Yeah.
Yes. That is
So-
exactly what I'm going for.
You guys are the other guys are working hard to keep this fire in control, and you see Gemini very casually like, how would I? And he just, okay, let's just start tying this up, and he just like, no, adjusts the ropes a bit, just so it fits very nicely.
Try a couple different knots, see what works.
It shapes a bit at the shoulder, and he adjusts it a
Yeah.
bit so it's more comfortable.
That's correct.
Nobody mentions this or does
Yeah,
it.
just try to go like, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
I
Get it nice and
wanna-
secure.
Wait.
Oh, I wish I had magic hand. Just undo the knot.
Action,
It
reaction,
would only take me longer.
spells.
It's more the principle of the matter.
Um,
I mean, the place
Okay.
is on fire. Do you
I,
think
I actually want to do something. I want to
Okay.
use my prestidigitation and make a little like maybe not sparks, but like a puff of wind or yeah, like a puff of wind in his face to like get in some attention to make him help us, and I will shout, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Hurry up already! Come and help, you lazy dragon!"
Is the box tied to the backpack already, or is she doing that while I'm tying it?
You're probably putting on the last touches of it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I guess I'll get blown back and I'll go, "God, okay. This box seems very important, and I apologize. I know it took quite some time. You know what? I'll help. I'll help as best as I can." And then I get Mage Hand, and I use Mage Hand to try to put the fire out with the water. Just scoops of water in the Mage Hand.
Okay.
Like, see, I'm helping. See, this is what you wanted, yes?
Do you know, that's coming from the well, and I get the image that you're not actually lifting it over to the fire; you're just scooting it out of the well,
Yeah,
pretty much.
over me as I'm pulling the box up.
We see Vince's shirt is getting all wet and sticking to his body, and his muscular physique is just showing.
No, that's the
Just
fire.
start flexing like a wet t-shirt contest.
Yeah.
That's the fire starter, not the fire.
Oh, my mistake. And then I'll actually go help.
Yeah.
Just whenever you pick up a bucket, I just sort of nudge it into you, and it spills over you. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Oh God, I can't watch this.
You guys slowly but surely manage to douse the fire, and it starts to die out. And after like I don't know, half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, it's just charred pieces of wood and black stones, and yeah, it looks burned. What do you guys do?
I go over or start walking over to try and investigate the trap door, but as I go, I sort of say to everyone, "Guys, I'm pretty sure kobolds are draconic. They might be okay with having a fire for about 2 hours on them. Just we should maybe be careful here." And then saunter over and have a look at the trapdoor, see if it's still intact or what's left of it.
You walk towards the trapdoor, and it's burned. You see it's collapsed, and as you kind of look down, you see it's surprisingly deep way going down. You've probably been in farms or houses or things like before that have basements of sorts, and usually it's just you could probably just hop down and crouch down and walk in it, or it's only just a place where you can stand and grab a few things to keep it cool. But this goes down several feet.
Can I make out anything in there, or
No, it's too dark.
cast light?
You
Throw a light ball down there.
you throw a light bulb down there, and it goes down deeper and deeper, and it'll probably be around 7 feet down, and it then stops, and you see appears to be, well, first off, rubble, burning pieces of wood and stuff. But there seems to be a pathway leading to the left.
Okay. Sort of turn to everyone, tell them what I can see, and be like, guys, I think they might have got away. Might not have been a good idea to set the place on fire. So,
Really?
you
There's
know,
a pause?
I think as a group we should learn from that, and maybe
Right,
not set
yes.
things on fire.
Yes, I will do my level best next time. I apologize.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
I'm
glad.
going to search the rubble of the place and just see if there's anything of use that we might have missed.
All right, roll your investigation.
That's a no.
Yep, everything's
I
pretty burnt.
Okay,
I
there was a fire
wanna walk up and look down into the path as well because it sparked my curiosity and I'm actually slightly curious of where it goes.
You see Vince kind of standing there. You kind of hop next to him and kind of also start to look down. And well, his light bulb is still down there, so you
Yeah.
see the
I push her in.
path leading to the left.
What you gonna?
There was clearly a ladder, wooden ladder leading, there, but this is also burned, so there's no longer well, the standard way of getting down there.
How deep would you say it was?
It's about 7 feet.
7 feet. Okay.
Okay, so try and go, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm going down there and I take out my rope, seeing as Gemini's is being used for important things right now.
Very
And is there anything I can tie it off to? Anything like any of the supports?
Aren't you like big enough to actually just jump down?
I was more thinking for your benefit, but if you want,
You can catch me, or like stand there and I can just like walk
Well,
onto your head.
The tunnel
Yeah.
leading down is
I
quite
like
narrow.
that second one.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'll do that. I'll jump down into the hole.
Okay,
He's
just
about
so we're
6
clear, the tunnel leading down is quite narrow, and the tunnel leading left is quite narrow as well. The tunnel itself, where you jump down or where you would normally climb down, you can stand in, but it will not be comfortable standing next to somebody else. You'll be squished against each other. And Vince, you especially, Ely, not so much. You will have to crouch down and kind of crawl to through the path to the left.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Then maybe jumping down maybe is not a smart idea.
Well, what I was saying, what we could do is I could jump down, lift you down in, and then you could investigate and see what's there. See if it widens out at all. If it's worth maybe shuffling along a bit.
Yeah, all right.
Or even if we see what direction it's going off to, we could follow it. It probably comes out somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Might live to
Okay.
regret this, but yeah, okay.
Okay, I hop in and lift Ely down and right.
Yeah.
And send a light ball down that passage that's going off to the left to illuminate it a bit.
Well, Ely has dark vision, so she's
Yeah.
pretty
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty
well,
okay.
then just...
But you start crawling in the tunnel. Or
Yeah,
you neither need to. You yourself need to squat down, Ely. You don't need to crawl.
I can just like
I
crouch a
just
little bit
wait.
and
Yeah, exactly.
like carefully walk
sort of
forward.
stay-
Varen and Gemini, what do you guys do?
I go up to Vera and I lean on him. I say, "Oh, they're racist, right?"
Don't touch me.
Yeah, figured. Hmm?
you start saying I've got a friend in you.
Yeah. No, Vernal will just he'll look down in the hole and wait to see Ellie report since she can open. She finds an opening in the tunnel basically that we can get into.
Okay.
Okay, what does
So
he?
Vince, you're standing in the tunnel, and Ellie is crawling through it.
Yeah.
as you're crawling in, you see in the distance, about 20 feet or so in front of you, you see what appears to be a small boulder, but big enough to more or less cover most of the entrance or the rest of the tunnel.
Okay.
Cast fist.
And you see
Oh,
see Vince's light bulb kind of like boop, bopping up against it, like doing, 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 doing.
okay, I will slowly walk closer and investigate it.
Okay, roll your investigation.
Okay, and investigation. That's 7.
7. It seems like a normal boulder to you, but a bit out of place.
Okay, seeing that the light bulb, like the light bulb, won't move it, I like touch it
Yeah, it
and
feels
like
like normal rock to you.
try to push it.
Roll your athletics.
That's also 7.
No, not budging. Throw your perception.
Okay. What is it with my rolls? 8.
8. Oh, no, nothing. You kind of look annoyed back at Vince, who's kind of uncomfortably kind of looking, trying to see.
Just shout down, do you need a hand?
Yes, I do.
Would Vince fit in there with?
No, definitely.
No.
She will have to come out, and you will have to like crawl in. You don't really need to tiger. You can pretty much go on hands and knees.
I think Vince would want a tiger crawl anyway because it's harder.
Okay. there you go.
And
Quick
get the-
question, just theoretically, could a mage hand be able to move it?
That's what I was gonna ask. You don't know?
What you could do is mage hand and you push it.
So
Okay, when I hear him say, "Do you need a hand?" I'm gonna send Mage Hand down.
Yes.
I would
Hold on.
assume that you don't you need to see what your mage hand's doing?
I don't know actually. Let's find out.
I would think so.
because if that's
No.
the case, I will actually suggest him to send down the useful Dragonborn. Or the not useful Dragonborn. I will ask him to send down the not useful Dragonborn. Also known as the Bard.
Dear.
It just says it needs verbal somatic and it can't be more than 30 feet away. Doesn't say I have to see it.
Okay, but you don't see any senses, so you don't know when to make the hand do something.
Yep, that makes sense.
So I would have to see that you have to probably see it or be very very aware of where it probably is.
I would agree with that. Yes.
While I'm stooped in the hole, can I look around and see if there's anything like any markings or anything that might any
Roll an
indication
investigation.
as to why this might be unusual?
I'll check what's left in the house to see if there's anything of interest.
Also, roll your investigation.
That is 14.
14. You can tell that the path leading towards into the tunnel, it's been traversed quite frequently, and you would have to say that looking at the how it's been dug out and things, you think that this has been done relatively recently.
Can I make a perception check up in the burnt down house area? Make sure nothing's watching us.
Sure. First, we'll go to the Varen. What did you roll?
It's a 14 as well.
14. Okay, so you check the house. You don't notice anything strange. It's just all burned, and nothing seems to be unnatural or unnormal. So yeah. Gemini, roll your perception.
Oh wow, that's amazingly good. Let's see here. What the hell is my perception? There we go. That's a 19.
At 19, you look around, and no, you don't have the feeling somebody's watching you. You're pretty sure you're alone.
Okay.
Or, well,
Okay.
with your group of friends.
Right.
Okay, so can I shout down to Ellie? Is it Ellie or Eli?
Both works.
Okay. I'll switch between them. That'll happen. So I shout down to her. So I say, do you want to swap, and I'll see if I can move that.
Do you like even fit?
Do you like
It'll be
even
fine.
lift, bro?
You look a bit.
It is fine, and if there's a cave in, I can just hold the earth up. You know, it's fine. Yeah, I do this all the time. It's fine. Do I need to roll bluff for that?
Do I believe him?
It's actually going to be a roll, is it?
Yeah. Well, do you believe yourself, Vince?
I think he does. Yes.
Okay, can I roll an insight check on him?
Then roll an insight check. Then Vince doesn't have to roll for deception. You just.
Okay, 9 and insight. That's 10.
Oh, he seems pretty sure of himself. But...
Just like.
Okay, they still feel like a bad idea, but like, let me out first.
But yeah, that was. I wouldn't fit in there with.
No,
you,
like
but
actually
that-
lift
that
me
was
up
fun.
out.
Oh, right. Okay.
All the way
I have any danger splash zone. Okay, so I lift her out and then
Yeah.
leopard crawl in.
Okay.
Even though,
And I make sure I stand on the side that isn't a tunnel.
Okay, Ely kind of first crawls out of, or kind of shimmies out of the tunnel, and you kind of try to get her because it's quite narrow here, and the two of you, Gemini and Varen, you kind of look at this this play going down there in the tunnel, like, oh, this looks very uncomfortable, and you see, sorry, excuse me, you're finally.
It's hard to
Vince,
get good help nowadays.
You see a small gnome being lifted up, and she very casually just grabs the corner and just hops out.
it wasn't lifted up in one. It was like one.
Oh,
So I'm pretty much like grab the edge as soon as I can and like ease myself up
okay.
to escape this buffoon.
So let me just draw a picture for you guys. The wizard is the only one now down in the tunnel, and he's going to go first into a narrow tunnel to move a rock.
This is a bad
Excellent.
idea.
Okay.
No,
so,
it's a bad idea.
Mage hand waves goodbye.
Actually,
It's
that's
okay,
a way
Vince knows what
better
he's getting
idea.
into.
It's fine. It's not like this is how cave-ins happen.
Okay. So you start to tiger through this
Staff like bit
small
in the
tunnel.
mouth. Even though it's like scraping on. Even though it'd be even more convenient to have it on my back, it's just still.
Just in your mouth.
You can't have it sideways. It's too big. It's too big.
it's just scraping dirt. It's like-
You have it sideways, then it will take.
You just
It's like a dog in a tunnel.
yeah, this is like a dog fighting with it. No, I don't. It's on my back. No.
Okay. So
He's
you.
not quite that stupid. I mean, his wisdom is not great, but he's not quite that stupid.
I thought your wisdom was like your highest score.
Oh, it is. Sorry, it's intelligence.
Okay.
I forgot.
That- we're all gonna die. Alright.
Look on the bright side. I only have 7 hit points, so you don't have to deal with it for very long.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? The last famous Devo.
Oh, God.
You crawl towards this small boulder that's blocking the way. Throw your perception.
You don't have dice?
That's a natural 20.
Natural
Ooh.
20. You hear behind this boulder. You hear what languages do you speak?
I speak. I know what's coming up. No, I don't speak Draconic.
Ah, there you go. You hear
Everyone else.
groveling like.
No,
That's not all you hear.
Okay.
You also hear.
Ah, damn. I was just going to blast the thing with magic, but there's going to be someone on the other end. Okay. Do I recognize the draconic language from before? Like, I don't understand what they're saying, but do I recognize that it's the same voices?
Did you hear the draconic languages before?
No. Was just me.
No, it was just you. Okay, never
It
mind.
was just me.
No, so you have no association with it.
Okay.
But I'm assuming that you hear a strange language being spoken, and well,
Yeah.
It's
Ellie
from the
first said,
same.
yeah. Oh, well, somebody's speaking draconic.
Okay. What a back out. I reverse leopard crawl out.
You like, oh man, backwards even harder, better for my pecs. You start crawling backwards.
Yeah.
And
I don't go straight out. I go out and then back in a few times. Just like, yeah.
Okay, while he's doing that, can I like slowly walk over to like follow where the tunnel should be going, and check
Sure.
if I see something like if I keep going?
Oh,
I'll follow her.
I want to investigate
Okay.
it and see if the tunnel should lead somewhere, going the same direction.
Okay. All right.
Because I don't know the
think so.
stuff are happening down there.
You walk in that direction.
Yeah.
Varen, do you stay with the...
Stay and see if Vince needs a hand.
Okay. So Gemini and Ely both start more or less walking in the line that this tunnel has laid out for you, and you quite immediately, quite quickly come to the burnt down wall of the farm.
Okay, and like walk
So
around.
you can go out and just walk out.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out and like follow it in the direction.
Okay, excellent. You keep walking more or less in that line. Just so you have a good feeling about that you're following the line properly. Roll a survival check.
Yeah, no, natural one.
Natural one.
Just going in circles
Gemini,
around
you
the
roll a
farmhouse.
survival check as well.
I'm sorry. What check?
A survival check.
All right.
My dice is really bad today.
That's a 9.
A 9. You see Ely kind of walking out of the farm and going to the point where you guys were standing at the other side of the window, the inside, and you see her like very sure of herself, like walking in a certain line, like this way, and you're thinking like, wait, wasn't the tunnel going the like in 45 degrees a different angle?
Right.
But you see Ely kind of like walking there, like definitely, and you're thinking like, she's a gnome. I mean, they might be accustomed to being underground. You're kind of in like, is she right? Am I seeing this wrong? What's going on?
I'll stop for a moment and I'll say, Allie, are you certain you're going the right way? That seems wrong.
You, Ellie, are 100% sure.
Yes. I'm positively so like we started out over there, and this is the direction.
Okay, I trust you with everything.
So you guys march this flamboyant-looking dragonborn gnome who's like, this way, follow me. You guys are marching in a certain direction.
That was
You
the last time
meanwhile-
I ever saw them.
Tiger out. Yeah,
The cows
exactly.
came back and killed
Yeah.
us.
And if they haven't died by now, they're still walking in that way.
Where were they going
Yeah.
with? I'm gonna start playing that song, by the way, without ever knowing.
You, Varen, see Vince crawling out of the hole and kind of getting up. His face is covered in dirt, and his clothing is also very dirty now from crawling through it.
Sort of like get himself back out of the hole and turn to
Give
Ver.
him a hand.
You see two of your party members have left, and just Varen is kind of darkly kind of looking down on you.
Like, which way did they go? I heard voices down in that hole, and something muffled that might have someone else down there and be a hostage. I don't know, so I didn't want to blast the stone open. Where'd the rest of them go?
Right. They took off to see if the tunnel come out somewhere else, I assume.
Okay, so they went this way, and I start following the line that the tunnel would take.
You go out.
Do you want me to roll survival as well?
No, well, you can to see if how Ellie and Gemini walking there in a distance, and they kind of they are looking around, of course, to see if they can find an opening of sorts. But so far they haven't been lucky.
Can
And you're thinking what the hell are they doing there?
Can I use light and throw the light ball at them to to pat Gemini on the back, just sort of like a hand going. Oh.
Well, the lights themselves don't really have a substance. And how far can you cast them?
It can go 20 feet, just.
Oh, so yeah, no, they won't be able to reach them.
Yeah, okay. Are they close enough that if I just shout, do the normal thing?
Depending on the volume of your shout, yeah.
I don't want to blow out a mic.
Oh, you shout at them, and Gemini, you're probably the one that's going to be picking up, because Ellie has this focus, oh man, I'm on to them. I'm gonna get them.
Okay, there has to be an opening here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. Where is it? I haven't found it yet, but I'm looking.
All right, fair enough.
You look about and you see Vince kind of waving there at you.
We've jumped up and down.
I jump up and down and wave back. What are we doing? What's happening? What is this?
Yeah, just like Scorpion out of Metal or out of Mortal Kombat. Get over here!
Oh, okay. Ellie, it appears as though the Buffett over there, he wants something.
Okay, let's go check him out. Let's see what he wants.
I just skip over there playing my loop.
You guys head back.
Yeah. So
I'll catch up with Vince. So
while he's standing there and I look at him, he's probably super dirty now.
Yeah, the four of you are standing more or less just outside the farmhouse.
Yeah. I look at him so you didn't get stuck?
No.
He is covered in smuck and dirt and pieces of soot from the burns lying on the ground there.
I just sort of shake off my hat and pat down my robes while I'm standing there.
I just make sure I'm out of the way so it doesn't land on me.
Well, I aim for Ellie.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not standing close.
You have a little bit of dirt on you, Ellie, from going in there the first time, but not as much because you didn't have a bowl or anything.
Yeah.
And you could have, of course, used prestidigitation to clean yourself off.
I'll probably do that when we're done there.
Okay.
Yeah. Once they're all gathered, I tell them about what I heard in the tunnel. There's guys, I think there's creatures down there. I don't know if it was the same ones that you heard, Ellie, but there's definitely something down there, and it sounds like they have someone. They sound tied up and gagged. So we should maybe try and see if there's another way in.
Do we think this might be the farmer?
It's possible. Farmer, his wife, bystander, I don't know.
Do you think we might be able to talk them out?
Possibly. I didn't recognize the language. It might have been the same one you heard. You could maybe go down and have a listen.
Because if it's draconic, maybe we could trick them to coming out.
Can I mimic the noises that I heard? See if she recognizes?
Sure. A roll of performance.
Do I know what a kobold looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, I do.
Yeah. You have a good idea, and you think the thing in the forest that was looking at you was also more or less a kobold.
Yeah, I just make a choking noise. Just.
While he's choking, I'm just gonna shake my head, cast disguise self to look like a kobold, and head down.
Okay. Great. Disguise self only changes your height a certain amount, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me see here. Oh god, that's a lot of text.
Does it really change your size or just your appearance?
If it changes your size only a small amount, I believe.
I think it's just an illusion, isn't it?
Right. You can if you spell it appear. Okay, yeah, it just appears that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually look the size of that person and
Yeah. That's what it yeah, you just appear that way, but if somebody reaches out, they'll actually touch the real you. Yeah.
okay. All right.
So I'm gonna
So-
head down there.
You see all of a sudden not Gemini but a strange looking kobold standing in front of you.
Kill it!
It's actually almost a bit smaller than Ellie is.
Start swinging the staff at it.
Hey, that's so!
Turn around, hide behind Baron. All right. Yeah. After that silliness is done, I just jump in the hole and go.
All right. Well, even though it appears that you're walking, you still will have to through
yeah.
the hole.
Yeah. I'm
So
gonna
you-
just doggy paddle my way through the floor till I get to the end there.
All right. You get through the hole to the boulder. What does the rest do? Do you guys stand around the trapdoor or?
Stand over him ominously.
Yeah.
Staring.
I asked them to like help me down quick, so I can maybe try to listen to what he says a little bit better, and maybe able to convey or quickly like run in and try to help him.
Okay.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay. You said
So I'm assuming that you want to do this quietly, right, Ellie?
Yeah.
Okay. So roll your stealth.
Oh, God. Come on, dice. Be nice. Oh, wait. Oh, that's better. Stealth. Okay, that's 13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
So you quietly follow Gemini, who's crawling through it. It's kind of weird. You see this kobold from the back, and it seems to have like an unnaturally slow movement to it, as it's kind of like putting steps forward. And you're thinking like,
No.
it's kind of weird because he's such a small creature. He should be able to more or less just bend his head and be able to walk through it. But it seems to be going at the pace that somebody would need to crawl through this tunnel. So it's kind of a strange way to look at it. But you believe that it's arrived at the boulder now, and actually, Gemini, you have.
Okay. I'm going to give it a little. And then I'm sure there's not going to be a response.
Nope, it's quiet.
In Draconic, I'm going to say, "They're dead. Help me get their stuff. They have a lot of gold."
Roll your performance.
Ooh. What is my performance? That's a 19.
A 19. Who are you? Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. Help!
You slowly see this boulder starting to move, and yeah.
I was gonna say I'll make sure that I'm not standing directly visible,
Yeah, wave her back.
but like
Yeah,
I
you're-
move
you're
back.
kinda
So
standing-
I'm in the back and hiding like in the shadows a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And you see this boulder kind of moving, and you see two kobolds pretty much standing quite close to each other and helping each other to move this boulder. One of them
Oh,
is has a red skills, and the other one has greenish skills.
Okay.
Which color does your
Red.
red? Okay.
Yeah.
They move the boulder and then they see you and they look at you. Who the hell are you?
I'm Julio.
They look at each other. Julio.
Julio, say it right. Now hurry up. They have a lot of gold. There are 4 of them.
Roll your deception with disadvantage.
Why did you think that's a good name? Nope, natural one.
Natural one.
First one, natural one.
They look at you, and you see them looking at each other.
Is how wide open is the hole right now?
It's still as narrow as a person can. They're kind of standing there squished with each other, so they're very limited in their movement. And you have a hard time seeing what's behind them. Do you have dark vision actually?
No.
No. So it's very, very dark here. And
Can I see something from where I'm standing, maybe?
You probably see the two kobolds, but not more than that, because it's at the extent of your dark vision. As they kind of look at you, and you see one of them like smiles, and you see these jagged teeth, and he
I
says,
smile back with my jagged teeth. Gold, so much.
Good. Come in.
Is it open enough for me to go in?
Yeah, they kind of step aside and kind of yes, go.
I'll scream my own name and tackle one of them. Just Gemini, and then I'll scream, just grab one of them to the ground.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
Okay.
Wait, let's everyone, because you're taking aggressive action. Let's everyone roll initiative. You get the first, because they're kind of like, what? They didn't expect you to immediately do something.
D20?
Exactly.
Yeah, a D20, and you add your initiative modifier, so that's a dex modifier.
Okay.
Dex modifier.
That's a 16 for me.
16.
16 for me as well.
Okay.
So the dice plus your dexterity modifier.
Yeah.
So that's 11.
11. Okay.
It's 19 for me.
19. Okay. Gemini, I'll allow you to act first because you more or less taken like an action before they did anything. You try to grab one and then try to wrestle him to the ground. So roll an attack.
What do I add to that? Nothing, right?
You can add either your strength or your dexterity modifier and your proficiency modifier.
That's right. I am so out of it. Okay, that's a 13.
A 13. Okay, you grab one of them and you try to wrestle him to the ground, and it takes an athletics check for both of you.
Okay. Athletics is +0, so 14.
14. You wrestle him to the ground and are successful. And
Also screaming, he's an imposter! He's an imposter!
Ooh. Roll your persuasion again.
Come on, natural 20.
That's a 2.
That's a 2.
At least it's not a natural one.
Yeah.
He looks at you
that
like,
makes it 7.
his face contorted in anger. Okay, now we'll start at the top of the score. Varen, you hear Gemini screaming his own name, and then you hear sounds of a scuffle going on down there.
Right. Is Ellie in the hole at the moment?
Yes, she is. So she's kind of blocking her way to get in quickly.
Right. Is it possible for me to jump down and see if I can squeeze past her?
You could jump down, and you would be able to more or less squeeze past her. It will, however, be difficult, and depending on, I'm assuming that you want to do this quick, you might actually hurt her.
I would assume.
Just sit back and chill. It's like they got this.
Sure.
What's the paladin have to do with combat anyway?
All right. I will actually turn over to Ellie and I go. I'll say to her, "Let me go in first. There seems to be a commotion." and then I'll probably just sit and hold my action to sort of lift her out of the hole.
Okay, yeah, it's too bad because you can hold your action, but you can't hold your movement. So
Yeah.
you won't be able to move. You have to wait for Ellie to get out of the tunnel. You could hold your action to do a help action, and that would help Ellie to get out of the hole quicker.
Yep, that's essentially what I'm doing.
Depending if Vince wants to do the same, but only one of you can give her advantage to quickly climb out.
But I want to cast a spell.
Yeah, it's your choice, but he thinks that you'll probably climb out, so he's holding your action to that. If you don't climb out, then his hold will be nullified and it doesn't do
So
anything.
I don't have to actually climb out. I can be like
of course,
completely
you're free to do
missing that
whatever
he
you
wanna
want.
help me and like be like, I'm gonna attack.
You could also
Is-
hold until she's like in the room with me, and then use your action for your movement. You know what I mean? To dash.
No, you can't use a dash action at that point. You can only
use dash. Okay.
attack or something. I don't believe you actually can hold your action to help, but I'm allowing that to do.
Is Ellie in? Because you know, there's the bit that goes down that's just immediately below the trapdoor, and then there's the column that goes off to the right. Is Ellie in that column?
I
No,
would actually
no,
stand
she's-
like
okay.
in the tunnel. I was thinking
Yeah,
like then earlier,
exactly.
so the
Yeah,
light
she's
doesn't
kind of
fall on me and
pressed up
illuminate
against
me.
the side. Exactly.
So
So
then,
she's trying to there's not a lot of space, but because she's quite small, she can kind of press against the corner to not be in the tunnel sight. So pretty much hiding in the first tunnel going down.
okay. Can you see into that tunnel?
Yeah, I can
So
see.
can you see anything that's for me and Varen, can we see anything that's going on in the
Actually,
tunnel?
there's no light source at this point anymore. So the three of you are pretty much blind. Well, blind. Not there's some light here. So as you and a certain amount down into the tunnel, you are able to see.
Okay.
But you and Gemini both rolled, I believe, a 15 or something.
16, yeah.
16. So you both can decide who goes first.
Go ahead.
All right. Let me see. Right, I can do pee all unless I'm seeing them, and there's not much room down there, so I wouldn't be able to jump down and even stay back. So if I stay right at the end, just so I could see down to cast a spell down.
Like I said, you could probably go down, and depending on how quick you want to do this, you might hurt Ellie because you might land on her.
Would I be able to use?
And you would block Varen, of course, even further.
That's fine. I don't know what he's doing.
Okay. Well,
Toss some light down. He can't see anything anymore.
he did call out like, Ellie, let me go in first.
Oh, he did. Okay, yes.
Yeah, but I'm totally ignoring
okay.
that. But can I scream something while he decides? Like I'm not actually doing an action. Can I just scream something too?
Let's wait for your turn.
Okay.
Would casting light be a spell, or would that be a bonus action?
It says so in the spell.
Yeah, I think lights.
Oh yeah, same one action.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I cast light and I throw the ball into the tunnel.
Okay, so you cast light and you more or less have it roll already into the side tunnel a bit.
Yeah, like a bowling ball.
Yeah. Okay, is that all you do?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Gemini, it's your turn.
Okay.
So you see a light appear at the back, which is helpful because you're pretty blind as well.
What do I see around me?
You see pretty much below you a kobold wrestling with you, and you see in front of you a kobold trying to grab his weapon, and a little bit beyond that, you see what appears to be the starting of a larger space. But because the globs of the balls of light only move like 20 feet in, they don't cast that much light beyond that point.
Okay. Okay, so my hands are tied up with this kobold trying to restrain him.
Yeah.
I have vicious mockery here, and it says it only needs verbal. So can I like use vicious mockery on the other guy?
Sure.
Okay. I'll say, "Dear God, you're ugly," and I'll just throw a fucking die, and that's terrible. Actually, no, he has to make a save. But it was 1.
Okay, but he has to make a save against, I believe, a wisdom saving.
Yeah, 13.
13. Okay. Natural 5. So no, he doesn't make it. I believe he also needs. If he fails it, he needs.
He takes 1d4 psychic and has disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Oh, okay. So he almost looks a bit shocked, like what? This was uncalled for.
My mother says I'm beautiful.
Yeah. Is it because I'm green? What's going on with this?
Yep.
And he takes 1 point of damage. I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he looks hurt. Ellie, you're up.
Okay. I will use Ray of Frost, and I will wait. It's verbal somatic, yes. So I will do freeze, and the light of frost at the Ray of Frost at the guy that Gemini is not grappling.
Yeah,
I
not
guess
wrestling to the ground.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
so
Because I don't want to hit him by accident.
Who looks shocked and
Yes.
hurt. Yeah. Ray of Frost, what does it do?
Ray of Frost. It does cast at will 1d cold damage. A frigid beam of blue-white light streaks toward a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, it takes 1d8 cold damage. And its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of the next turn.
Excellent. Now, what is the range of the spell?
60 feet.
60 feet, no problem. You kind of move your hands.
Oh, sorry, you cut out? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, you kind of move your hands and you kind of point your finger at the kobold standing there, and you see an ice blue streak just leaving your finger and striking this kobold in its chest. You need to actually roll for to see if you hit it.
What do I roll?
You roll your spell attack. So it probably says Ray of Frost, and then it says a plus, probably 3, 4, or 5 behind it.
Plus 5.
Plus 5. So you roll a d20 and you add 5.
D20 and add 5.
Yeah.
14. That's 19.
19. Very nice. So this blue streak just strikes this goblin and just almost freezes instantly. Roll for damage.
And then I roll a d8.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just so you know, Ely, you as a sorcerer, the stat that you're using to cast spells is charisma. So in this case, it was a plus 5 because I would assume at this point that your charisma gives you a modifier of plus 3.
No, my charisma gives a modifier of plus 5.
No, it's probably your charisma is.
Oh no! Yeah, no wait, no yeah, plus 3. Never mind, I'm looking at the right place now.
Exactly. So that's why it's 3, and you add 2 for your proficiency modifier. So that is always the thing you add to your roll when you're asked to shoot spells at somebody and see if you hit them.
Okay, so that's the. Yeah. Okay.
So roll for damage, a d8.
D8. I'm gonna have to re-roll that because it landed in a book, so it's on the edge.
Okay.
6.
6. This streak of blue light just flares by you, Gemini, and it freezes, and it just falls to the ground. But you see, as it kind of freezes, it looks at its skin, and its scales actually kind of turn a bit bluish from the ice, and and you almost hear it saying in its mind like, I'm not ugly anymore. As it falls to the ground.
Amazing.
Oh dear.
As it's now the kobold's turn that you are wrestling with, and he tries to get out from below you. So he will roll a contested thing with you. He will go for acrobatics to try to get out. You can, I believe, you can choose which where to roll, either acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics, yeah.
He gets a 15.
16.
Nice. You managed to wrestle him, keeping him still down. As you do notice that from out of the dark, 2 other kobolds approach. As they look angry, and one of them looks a bit different from the others. They're both red skilled kobolds, but one of them has like this strange looking cloak on his back, and they both charge you, and they kind of stare at you, Ely, but they decide because you're too far away, they both attack Gemini. All right, so the first attack will be with their weapon. What's your armor class, Gemini?
14.
14. Okay, the first one hits. And you take 3 points of damage.
All right.
You feel a cut of a blade in your side, and the other one is 12. I believe that misses, right?
Yeah, misses.
Excellent. Okay, so they both like try to cut you with their knives. One of them is now more or less behind you, and the other one is kind of in front of you, and there's one below you, so you're almost covered from all sides. That's the only reason why they could attack you.
Okay.
Both of them. So okay, we go back to the top. Varen.
Seeing that Ellie's not going to get out of the way,
No, you saw blue energy coming from her.
I'm going to say this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me, and jump into the hole.
Okay, roll an acrobatics.
That's not good. That is 6.
6. You jump in, and oh yeah, you were afraid of this. Ellie is just standing right below you. And Ellie, you're standing there like, yeah, I got one, and you feel this massive body landing upon you. Ooh, Ellie, you take 4 points of damage.
But did I really stand in the opening? Did I stand like a little bit in the tunnel?
No, you didn't say you moved into the tunnel. You just said.
But I thought I stood there from the start, so I didn't get like the light from the opening coming down on me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely misunderstood, because the thing is, standing. There's nowhere really for you to hide. So the kobolds would have they look into the tunnel and they immediately see you. So
okay,
that's why
then
you were still standing in the tunnel to be able to hide.
Oh, okay, then I understand. Then I misunderstood.
Okay, so man, you feel this heavy dragonborn upon you.
Yeah, and I took damage, you said?
Yeah, you take 4 points of damage.
Ouch. Does this work? Damage? No, it does not work.
Action.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And just a little plug here, guys. Everybody that's following us on Twitch, they can actually see, I believe it's on this side, the character sheets of all the characters, and they can see what their actual current hit points are and stuff, if you guys keep it checked on your character sheet, of course.
It's on that side. No, downwards from you. No, other way. Roger, other way.
Yep, other way, this way. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Varen, you've jumped down and you feel like the landing is very soft, but uneven, and you see Ellie kind of squeak in. What do you do? This hasn't been an action for you. You're more or less just jumped in.
Right.
Part of your
I'm gonna
movement.
see if I can move the rest of my movement down the tunnel and see if I can get down to where Gemini is.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
You start crawling into the tunnel. Because you're crawling, you're at half speed.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get to the first kobold, which is actually at this point with its back towards you.
How far is the crawl space?
It's about 20 feet.
20 feet. Half movement. I only get about 15. So.
Yeah, but you've jumped down, which takes a little bit of your. So you could take at this point the dash action and at least close the gap and be there.
Yeah, no, I'll take the dash action and close the gap between, sort of like move myself between Gemini and the creatures, or next to Gemini and the creatures.
Yeah, you won't be able to push yourself past one of the goblins, so it's more or less now you in the tunnel, then a kobold, then Gemini with a kobold below him, and then another kobold.
Right, I will get within range.
Yeah, so you're flanking this kobold now together with Gemini.
Yeah.
Okay, so and Gemini, which one goes first?
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Oh, which one goes first? Strange that I keep cutting out.
Do you mind if I go first on this one?
Would it be a problem if I go first?
Okay. Since I guess I'm on top of the other kobold, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Can I like flip around so he's on top? Have a little shield, little kobold shield?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay. And will I still have my action? Can I like use that as my movement?
No, it's more like a wrestling kind of.
Okay.
For you.
Then in that case, fuck.
Let's make sure that you realize what it does, so you can make an informed decision. You can wrestle him and kind of like put him on top of you. I'll give you a little bit of cover, so your armor class will go up by 2 because they'll try not to hit their friend, and they'll have a harder time hitting you.
Okay. What if
except for the guy that you're wrestling with, because if he decides not to try to break free but just attack you, then he'll just get a normal attack.
What is there a way I could let go of him and then use my movement to like circle around them and get them in a cone that Varen wouldn't be in?
No, because it's very narrow, and you will have a hard time pushing yourself past all the kobolds, and directly behind the last kobold is Varen, and you guys can by no chance be together in the same space.
Got it. Okay. And the one I'm wrestling is he's red like me, correct?
Yeah, you could try to go to the other side, but then you would kind of be like towards them, and Varen would be in the back. And on both actions, one of the kobolds will get an attack of opportunity on.
Okay. But is there a way to get them within a 15-foot cone that Varen's not in? That's like the important part of this.
Yeah, you would have to go deeper into the hole and then towards the room, and move a bit further on. But then, unless if you take the disengage action, you can't cast a spell, or 2 of them would get an attack of opportunity, namely the one in your back, which is between you and Varen, and the one in front of you, because you would have to force yourself past him and take it a little bit of a distance, so you're sure you don't hit Varen. Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll. Okay, if I keep holding dude, flip him, do I have to make a check? Like a.
Yeah, you will have to make a wrestling check, so a grappling check. Just so you know, you could probably also like kind of grab this guy from below you and kind of push him towards the goblin that's in front of you, and then you could do. I'm assuming that you want to do the spell or something. You can shoot the spell at least 2 of them. So you would have to kind of push back a bit, and then you could hit probably 2 of them, because then they both would be like more or less in front of you.
Okay, yeah, let's do that then. And yeah, and Vern's not in the spell range of this, correct?
No, because Vern will be in your back, so you kind of like get up from
fine.
the guy you're wrestling on the ground, bit back, squish the guy between you and Varen, and then you would do your spell on him.
Okay, and I'll do that, and I'll push him, and I'll be like, get over there, and then I'll do my golden dragon fire breath.
Ah, there you go.
See if they do like fire.
Okay.
They have to make a spell save of I think it's a wisdom 12. Let me check.
Yeah.
Breath weapon DC 12 saving throw. Yeah, it just says DC 12 saving throw.
Yeah. Dex.
Yeah.
Dex. Yeah.
Exactly. I would assume that's Dex. So
Yeah.
okay. So 12 on.
Yeah.
2 of them will roll that. One of them rolls a 16, so he makes it. And the other one rolls an 8, so he doesn't.
Okay, and if they make it, they take half damage from 2d6.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 5 and a 3, so that's 8.
8. Okay, so they one takes 8, the other takes 4 points of damage. So you inhale this damp air that's below the ground here, and you breathe out, and this cone of flame just squirts out of your mouth, and it just it covers pretty much the entire tunnel. So it immediately like spreads out and covers both these kobolds in this cone of fire, and they both try to duck to the side and scream as this fire starts to burn at them. One of them immediately dies. The other one is still alive, but really badly hurt. He's just he looks, his skin looks singed, and he's just screaming.
For my bonus action, I'll look at him, and in Draconic, I'll say, "We did start the fire."
Okay.
Nice.
Vince, your turn.
Did he also thaw out the one that was frozen? Just melted.
Yeah, he's just hot, cold. You're hot and you're cold. You're yes.
You're up when you're down.
Excellent. Okay, can I?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, no, yeah. I love D&D. The possibilities are endless. Yeah.
No.
I just stand up there eating trail mix. I don't know. Could I use my movement and my bonus action to get down carefully so that I don't squish?
Yeah. It'll just take more of your movement.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
So
get down carefully.
You carefully go down, and which means that you're pretty much just in the hallway. Sorry. Excuse me. What do you do? You see a large but firm rear end of your dragonborn companion, kind of standing there, crouched down.
I take it I can't actually see any of the kobolds.
No, there's a big man blocking your view. You do hear, "Ah!"
Bright light.
And then we did start the fire.
Okay. Yeah, pull out some trail mix and just start eating.
Okay.
Sure.
Offer
some to Ellie. Just no, actually, I tell you what I will do is.
I believe you can also you need to check if it's like a bonus action or anything, or just not a real action. You can send the light further into the tunnel.
Oh, okay. Let me see. It doesn't actually say anything about commanding it.
Well, then you can just recast it and just have it like further into the tunnel, so it casts more light.
You can cast on an object and then throw the object.
Yes. Yeah, but if you make it just out, it's just a floating orb. But you can make it out of objects. Objects that are held by people as well, apparently, and they have to make a dex throw or dex saving throw. I don't know what a glowing orb's going to do to them apart from startle them.
Blinds.
Some people are blinded by a lot of light.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just send the light ball just farther down to illuminate.
Okay. Excellent.
Just sort of goes in between Varn's legs. Just, whoop.
Yeah. So you guys will know light now. Ellie, it's your turn.
Can I actually see anything in the tunnel anymore?
No, there's two big men blocking your view, and one of them is like just in the tunnel, just like this, and he's more or less like tigering, but Varen was more like on all fours, just trying to make as quickly as possible his way through there. So they're between the two of them, totally blocked.
Hold back some trail mix for you.
Okay, so what the fuck can I do? Let's see. I mean, it doesn't say I need vision to like do a ray of frost or firebolt. They're cantrips, but I'm gonna assume I didn't. What I'm gonna try to hit.
Yeah, you need to see what you're hitting.
Yeah.
Let's just say you could just shoot at it, but it would definitely either hit Vince or Varen.
Yeah.
But you'll need line of sight. It'll be impossible to hit them.
She could also try holding her action until she actually does have line of sight.
Yeah, that's an option.
What did you say? What can I do?
Hold your action, and
so
then like you say like, okay, I wait, and as soon as I
You're cutting out, I think.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
That's weird. What's going on?
Basically, yeah, just hold your action. Well, what you can do is hold your action until like Baron or Vince move, and as soon as you have line of sight, then you can unleash.
Okay, I will hold my action and like move in after Vince, so I'm not as far back, so I'm getting slightly closer, and maybe have a better line of sight.
Well, you can't really get deeper into the tunnel because Vince is blocking that.
Yeah.
But you can definitely hold your action and make ready.
Yeah.
Up to shoot at them.
Okay, I do that.
Okay, excellent. The kobold that you were wrestling with is the one that actually survived, and he looks at you and says, like, in Draconic, he says, "No, please, stop!"
Can I say something back?
Yeah, I'll give you a chance to reply.
I'm gonna just look at him and be like, "You're uglier than the other one."
That burns more than the fire.
Dies from despair.
You see the kobold behind you hears this as well. I'll show you ugly! He tries to stick his dagger into you.
Making friends everywhere you go.
Let's see. He gets a 16.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That is, yeah.
There we go. That's 4 points of damage.
Yep.
You feel a dagger like being stuck into your back.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, Farron, your turn.
I'm guessing in range, there's only one of them up now, is there?
Yeah, and you're flanking him with Gemini.
Right. Would I be able to make an informed decision to say that swinging a weapon in this space is probably a hard thing to do?
You would be absolutely right, yes.
Right. Well, knowing that,
I mean, small daggers would be doable, but like big swords and axes and stuff, no, definitely.
I'll pull out a javelin, which is more of a thrusting weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go and see if I can thrust it into the kobold.
Okay, go ahead. I used the rule that if you're both flanking somebody, you'll get advantage on your attack roll because he has to divide his attention between defending himself between 2 points. So roll an attack with advantage.
Okay. Give me a second.
So take it Varen actually moves out of the way moves to get him behind this kobold?
Varen was already behind this kobold.
Oh, okay.
This is the only kobold left that has had no damage. And
That's
between Varen and
a 19 to hit.
Oh, that would certainly hit.
Okay, right. 1d6 plus 4. That is 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay, you.
Is that the one that just stabbed me, or the one that was?
Yeah, that's the one that just stabbed you. Exactly. As you, Gemini, kind of turn around and you see this guy sticking his dagger into you, and he just screams at you. You see, you Varen are from behind. You're like, oh, this is my moment, and you just stab the javelin like in the back of his head, and it just kind of comes out of his large mouth, and it just drops to the ground, dead.
Okay.
Well, he certainly showed who's ugly, so yeah. Okay,
right,
so do you do anything else? You're quite limited in your movement at this point.
Can I maybe just have a look around, see what the rest of the chamber looks like?
You're not in the chamber yet. You're still in the tunnel leading towards it. And to get there, you would have to pass Gemini and one of the.
Is there a kobold still up? Is there?
There's one kobold up, burned to a cinder almost, but still standing. And he yelled like "Stop! Stop! Stop!" But was
okay.
put
Well,
down by
that's pretty much me then. So.
All right. So Vince and Gemini, who goes first?
You work away.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be able. Would I be able to move forward and just peek over Vincent or Varen's shoulder? I just need a hand.
Well,
you know you want to say yes.
Yes, I do.
Even between his legs. I mean, I'm not proud.
No, exactly.
Just
but
poke my head between your head.
I would allow it if the distance was shorter between you guys.
Yeah.
Because with all your speed, you wouldn't be able to get just your movement action. You wouldn't be able to get to Varen. So you will have to use your dash to actually close the gap between the two of you, and then you would have to like ask him or duck or whatever. So that's not doable. Yeah.
Hold my action. I'll hold a firebolt ready to.
Okay.
Now the other kobold is like all scared and not.
Yeah. He's like, no, stop.
Okay. I'm going to just like start screaming at him in Draconic. Where are the others?
All here, nobody else.
You're lying.
No.
Baron, is he lying?
I wouldn't know.
You're supposed to be menacing. Okay. Let's go. Where's the farmer?
Okay, so this is gonna come close to the maximum of what you could do to him. This will be your action, just having this conversation with him. As the kobolds kind of points like, in the back. As he points towards the room which you guys are crawling towards to.
I'll nod. I'll be like, okay, Vince, go, and then I'll hide behind Baron because I'm really low.
Okay.
I'll just move behind him at the very least.
Yeah, well, it's you guys aren't able to. The narrow so small to pass by each other. So the only option you have at this point is either everybody goes back and somebody else goes in first, or you crawl forward and wait until you're in the room and have them then go in there as well, with hopefully enough room for you guys to maneuver.
Okay. All right. I'll just get as much distance as possible from him and anything else that could, like, you know what I mean? Just try to kind of scoop my way back against the wall, kind of thing.
The
Would that
wall's
work?
already pretty much against you.
Oh, it's that. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Huh. Well.
So you will be able, you can, with some effort, pass the kobold, but that's already pushing it. And
Okay.
and you've already used your action to have this dialogue with him, so you'll be able to move, but won't be able to do like the disengage. So if the kobold decides to use an attack of opportunity on you, he can.
Okay.
Do you have a bonus
And
action?
the only bonus action I can do is Bardic Inspiration. Vince, were you holding an attack?
Yes, but I would need Varen to move to actually see him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll just try to scoot away from him and do that.
Do what?
Get past the kobolds. You said I could get past the kobolds.
Yeah, you can squash past him. It'll take up quite a bit of your movement. And if he would want, he could have an attack of opportunity on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep,
so
I really have no option.
all right, very well. You squash by him, and he just feels you squashing past him. And
Excuse me, pardon me, come here. Excuse me.
you
Pardon me.
you are at that point almost at the room, and you can see because the lights are quite further on. The room is much more lit up now. You can see in the room 3 people tied up and gagged, and you see, which are already starting to get kind of blurry because it's dark there. You see a table with something lying on top of it. You're not really sure what.
Okay. And I can't do anything else. No bonus action.
No,
right?
this is your action. You've pushed it to the limit. Yeah. So Ellie, you're.
I can stand there and look at them.
Yeah, you're kind of annoyed because they're
Yeah,
totally.
I'm
these
totally.
big men are blocking your way.
I'm like super annoyed at this big bulky man that's incredibly frustratingly tall, and instead of like waiting one turn to and like remind me to walk in first, they just like decided to like scramble past me and hurt me in the process. So I'm like,
I was careful. I was careful about it.
okay, yeah, you were careful, but now you're like a big this block taking up all the space.
Can't help it. I'm so swole.
So I like go, tall people, and I hold my attack.
Okay. I'm assuming Vince.
You cut out.
Sorry, again, you cut out there.
What's this me cutting out? What's this?
It's maybe just a connection issue or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you
yeah.
most of the time. It's just
Yeah.
sometimes.
Weird. Okay. So you probably, Vince, you'll probably know me. Cursively said in the behind you, and Ellie kind of drops her turn as the kobold is, and he doesn't. He just sits there and, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. He keeps saying in Draconic. So, Varen, your turn.
I'm going to see if I can squish past the kobold and see if I can get up to where Gemini is.
Yeah, absolutely. You are now pretty much right behind Gemini.
I'm going to see if I can pull out a torch. I don't think I have my shield at the moment, so.
Yeah, you would be able to pull out a torch, and it'll be your full action to light it, though, here. So, yeah.
Yep, that'll do.
Okay.
Now that he's moved out of the way, the attack that I was holding.
Yeah, you will be able to see the kobold, like, whimpering in the corner.
I'm fine with it.
You kill him? Or you attack him at least?
I attack him. I cast. What did I say? What I had prepared, or did I just say I was
I
holding
think
spell?
you. I think you said you
Firebolt,
hold a
I think you
firebolt.
said.
The
Firebolt,
firebolt.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, firebolt. Firebolt.
So you see your hand burning, and it just a small flame appears, and you throw it forward. Throw your attack.
That is 13.
Nice. The bolt goes forward, and you see this kobold kind of like already singed and burned, and you see like one of his claws is missing, and
Fine.
as it's
Absolutely fine.
struck by your bolt of fire as it throw for damage.
That is 8.
8.
8.
You see it. It starts to ignite, and the smell of burned cobalt just fills the tunnel. As Gemini and Varen, you will both notice that this cobalt that has not attacked you as you move past it, now all of a sudden you hear a squeak as it is in a flash of light burning behind you.
I'll look over at him and I'll go, fuck him.
Yep.
I love the smell of firebolt in the morning.
Do you crawl forward?
I thought the held action was just that was
Yeah,
my
but
turn,
actually,
so it's just...
it's already your turn, so it's.
All right, okay, then yeah, then I move forward.
Okay.
Catch up with those guys if I can.
Excellent. So you can use your dash, so you use your full. And, you move forward.
Yeah.
Gemini,
Yes.
what do you do?
Are we still in initiative? Are all the kobolds dead?
Yeah, actually, yeah, the kobolds are dead, so yeah, we can drop out of initiative. Yeah, good.
I'll you know what? I'll let them handle it. I'll just kind of hang back a little bit and kind of keep eyes on. Not.
Well, the only way they can get past you, because you're the one in front, is that you are the first to enter the room proper.
Okay.
Sort of coming up behind. I'm just like, move your dragon asses.
There's not enough space inside that room for me to like go up against a wall or something.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said, you will have to move into the room.
Got it. Okay. Can I make a check for traps, anything like that on the floor, walls?
Sure. Sure.
Okay. What's that going to be? Perception.
Roll your investigation.
Investigation. That's a 16.
16.
Yeah.
The things you look at within your sight and not wanting to go deeply into the room, it seems safe.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk in and make enough room for them to pass by and do.
Okay, so yeah, the room is by no standard big, but compared to this tiny hallway that you guys crawled through to get in here, it's
and had a
massive.
full battle in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's massive. So you see a room that is about, oh man, English distances. I would say if you spread your arms, you wouldn't be able to touch both sides of the room, but you wouldn't be able to touch it. But it goes through quite deep, because there's to the right wall there are, like I said, 3 people tied up. A man, a woman. From looking at them, you would assume that these are the parents, and quite a young adult teenager kind of boy sitting there. They're all tied up and gagged. This room is quite remarkable, actually. You see quite a large wooden table, and there's something on it. And there are planks to the side with jars and things on it. And there's a small table at the far end of the room against the wall, easily accessible from when you're standing to the side of the table, with strange looking tools on it. And the thing you see on the table, and pretty much everybody starts to pour into this room at this point, so you all see this. It's nothing you've seen before. maybe, but I'll allow you guys to roll like an intelligence or something, or history kind of look. Maybe somebody has seen something in the book, but it's basically a large brain, but it has animal-like paws growing out of it. So there's these claws in the front too, and claws in the back too, and it's lying like a slab of meat on this table.
Just straight intelligence then, or
Yeah.
I'll allow a roll, but you have to be proficient in either history or arcane.
I can do that.
I can do that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Ah.
Yep. Same history.
I can choose between 14 and 14.
There you go.
I look at it and go, yep, that's a brain.
Yeah.
9.
Poke.
9. Just poking it with the end of the staff.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. I got an 8, so I'll just rub my chin, be like the old paw brain.
Ah, yes.
What did I get with 14, did you say?
Yeah, the two men have no real idea of what this is on. Ellie, you look at it, and there's a certain fear that grips you. This thing you see in front of you, everybody is disgusted by it. It looks unnatural, scary. You, Ellie, are flashed back to your childhood times, where you lived under the ground and either visiting or actually living there. You were told by great grandparents about these evil things that live below ground, these monsters that crawl into your bedroom and eat your brain, and then they crawl into your mind and they use your body like a puppet.
Video games.
Yep.
Wow. Creepy bedtime stories.
And
Love it.
you feel your heart like it's like this childhood fear that you had, and it all of a sudden comes up, and it lowers a bit when one of the guys goes like poking it with a stick, and you're like, okay, it's probably dead, but
Guys, is it dead? Is it like
I
dead?
I hold a firebolt in my hands, like, well, there's one way to find it.
No. Poke it.
as you hear the three people tied up
I was about to say, while they're doing that, I was gonna unleash their bindings. So
thank you. And, they start to help you untie. Thank you so much, whoever you are.
I like stand a hand to them and go, Baron Sul.
He's nicer to them than he is to us.
They look a bit taken back, but the man grabs your hand. The older man grabs your hand. Thank you. You saved our lives.
I drop the disguise self and I say, I'm not a kobold. Don't attack me. And I just fall down and sit down in the corner.
I think the disguise self will already have dropped because you were attacked and stuff. So
Oh, is that how it works?
I think so.
Yeah. Midway through wrestling with the other
Probably, yeah.
kobold, you're like flickering between you and a kobold. I turn around to the hostages and sort of point at the brain and go, do you know what that is?
No.
Oh, good, because I do. So just, yeah. I sort of my chin knowingly. Yeah, it's the old brain feat.
Super careful and like really scared. I grab my quarterstaff
Mm-hmm.
and I move towards it like super carefully and super slow and hold out the staff in front of me and like pokes it really hard.
You poke it really hard.
Just to make sure it's actually dead.
Roll for initiative. No.
Okay. Varen and Vince,
Yes.
both of you roll a perception check. Or better yet, an insight check.
Insight.
14.
That's 3.
All right. Varen, you're kind of studying these people and are pretty lost in trying to see what they're about. Vince, you see as Ellie kind of carefully walks up and pokes it. You see that the man, the older man, there is this twitch in his face as he seems not happy with that, but immediately tries to make his face like bland again and goes like, okay.
I turn around to him and go, what
You,
what was that? And a sort of motion to poke it again. The same. I was like, what was that about?
You, Ellie, will see that as you poked it, probably Gemini, this slimy liquid just kind of comes out of it.
Ew. Gross.
If only I had a vial to take a sample.
Gemini just leans back on the box. Nobody can see it. It's behind my back.
Oh, that's the point. You never actually told us what was in it. Right now. Yeah. Yeah. No. So I'm still over talking to the old guy. Going, why? What do you know about this?
Nothing.
Do I already know that he's lying, or could make a roll because of the
You
twitch?
can roll your insight.
Yeah, can I roll on that too?
Yeah.
All right.
Vince, I'll give you advantage.
Well, that one's a 16.
Ooh,
We'll go with the 16 because that was a 2.
Okay.
19.
19. You guys both look at it, and you notice that as you ask him this, the woman and the boy kind of look away, and he kind of goes like, "No," and your stomach kind of feels like there's something going on here.
Okay, sort of trying to say to him like, look, we're here to help you. That's our whole thing. We think we found your daughter in the inn. She came to get us to come and help. We're here to help you out, but you need to tell us what's going on.
The woman looks up and says, "You found Ivy? Oh, my dear girl. Is she all right?"
She's fine. She's back at the inn. She's being looked after by. Got his name written down.
Morgan.
Morgan, yeah. He's been looked after by Morgan and Snuffles.
What was the little girl's name?
Ivy.
Ivy. So A-I-F-E.
Fluffles. It's Fluffles, not Snuffles.
Oh, Fluffles, sorry. I'll write that down as well.
So will I actually.
Fluffles. The cat.
Varen's going to take a quick look around to see if there's anything in the room, either which is weird or worth value.
Well, there's this big brain on the table, which is quite uncommon.
Not really interested.
No.
Scoop it into your pocket. Just
Okay.
Yeah. Just
A
brain in a box.
Yeah, you, like I said, you see tools, quite strange-looking tools. They look specific, but probably worth something. And you see 3 small bottles, vials with corks on them.
Right.
Since I'm doing nothing, can I consider this a short rest and use my hit dice?
It's a little short at this.
Okay.
Just saying like, okay, I'm gonna relax here. Then yeah, sure.
Vern will look at the tools, and him being kind of a religious person, I don't know if it comes into it. Does he know what these tools are used for?
You would say that they're used to for embalmment and operating on dead things.
So it's obviously being experimented on. What about the vials then?
You see, two of them have a strange looking liquid in it. Actually, it looks kind of similar to the liquid that poured out when Ellie kind of poked it. And one of them is empty.
Right. I will turn to Vince and say to Vince, these tools are used in the embalming process to preserve dead bodies and experiment. Plus, these liquids here look like they came from the creature, so someone is experimenting on this strange being. It's up to you what you want to do with that.
Oh, cool. I sort of go over and nick one of the vials that has fluid in it, stash it in my pocket. I'll look at that later.
So I'm gonna like look up from this brain and like realize that things are actually still going on in the room. I mean, like, and then like look around at you guys, and then look at the other three people, and be like, and like raise my staff in front of me, like as in protection towards them, like, and I will go like, we can't trust them.
The man kind of takes a step back. So does the woman.
Vern will actually walk up to the man, assuming that he's probably the person that's doing this. And he'll turn and he'll say to him, he'll say, "Back in the Church of Kilmbor, we used to experiment on demonic creatures to learn their weaknesses. Is this similar to what you are doing?"
You see him looking at you for a moment. He then nods. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Did you find anything of use? Do you know what this creature is?
I know, guys.
I've only recently discovered it. I haven't learned much about it yet.
Did it come from the Underdark?
That's what I think, yes.
Yes, it comes from underground.
I'm sort of standing beside Ellie, just like making sketches of the.
Guys. So, okay. We can't trust them because they're controlled by the brain.
Did you find it dead or was it alive?
Dead.
Dead.
I sort of turn around to Ellie and go, "How does it control them? Do you know?"
Yes. It crawls into your bed and then enters your brain and then it starts controlling you.
Right. Would you be able to see that? I mean, is there like a zipper?
I'm not sure, but my great auntie Elili Honey, Jeff Thumbie Petals, always used to say they should always trust a wise old sorceress, or actually wizard in this case, she was a wizard, but anyway, and we should trust her, and she knows these kind of things, and she used to tell me when I was a kid that you can't trust those brain things because they are super scary, and they come out at night, and they crawl into your bed, they can come from under the bed, and they enter your brain, and then they control you and make you do horrible things. We can't trust them. They're infected.
So, are you thinking that it's maybe controlled by this one?
Yes.
Okay. I take out my dagger and stab the brain.
You see the man? No, please don't. It'll damage the creature without proper research.
Yeah, fuck that. I look at my notes and the drawings. I'm like,
can I insight check them? see if they might be being controlled? Oh, no. No, I can't. That's a 7.
You don't know.
Yeah, I stabbed the brain.
Can I use dissect them, seeing I don't believe them already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. You look at them, and they seem to. You kind of think back to the stories, and as you do, it reminds you that there is the only way without magic that you could probably ascertain if these creatures are controlling somebody is that they seem less emotional, more detached from things, scary things happening, loving things happening. Everything seems to kind of go through a filter. And as you look at these people, they seem emotional. They seem scared. The woman is kind of looking, when is the right time for me to crawl through this hole and go to my daughter? The son is clearly in shock. He's just kind of staring at this hole. And the one that you're worried about is the husband, the father. He seems not controlled, but he seems to be lying, and yeah, he seems to have an agenda. You have the idea.
Okay.
Hovering over the brain.
So I kind of want to check this out. So I'm gonna do something probably stupid, but I will pretty much. Okay. How big is this room?
It's not small. It's not big. It's how? Why do you ask?
Because I am thinking of maybe throwing a firebolt next to him.
The man?
Yeah, not at the other two people, but like on the other side of him, and like try to scare him.
Okay, yeah, that's doable.
And I'm trying to think that I'm not burning the whole place down at the same time.
Yeah, firebolts are quite small, and they you can project a certain smaller amounts of a small surface. So yeah, you can like have like an explosion of fire happen quite to his side as he jumps up and is scared by this.
I would like to help her with this and be like, "Oh God, it's happening again! Quick, tell her the truth. She hates liars."
Throw your deception.
The stuff I'm proficient in, I suck at.
Okay, so he just jumps up and says, "What are you doing? Please stop! This is important research."
Research for what?
I can't say. It's,
no,
important people need to know.
You cannot tell us that you want to make this out of here. If you want to make it out of here, you gotta tell me, because I'm not gonna let the brain-controlled thingy out there.
I'm not being controlled, I swear.
If you don't tell us, I'm gonna stab the brain.
No, don't, please.
I will watch as I sit there.
What people?
You see the woman kind of putting her hand on you would assume her husband's shoulder, and she says, "Honey, please, let's just get out of here." He looks, and you see the how do I call this? He's kind of torn a bit, and he looks at the brain, and he looks at his wife, and he says, "Listen, I'm extremely grateful that you saved us, and I have some money."
We burnt your house down.
What?
And we released your cows. Also, your vials are broken.
What? Please, just leave us alone. Thank you, but just go. We'll handle it from here.
Okay. If you hurt that little girl, I'll kill you.
As the woman kind of looks,
as they're leaving, I'm like, "I'm keeping your brain."
Please, just go. He kind of, especially to you, Vince, he kind of tries to escort you towards the hole that leads out.
I'm sitting this is my short rest. I'm moving nowhere.
As he looks at you, Varen, and says, "You are a man of the cloth. Please tell them this research is important."
Okay. Varen is going to look at him intently. And then he's going to look at his wife and is it a wee son or girl he has with him?
His son is like a teenager.
Right. I'll look over to his wife and the son and turn to them and say, "Yous can leave, but he must stay for a moment. I will not harm him."
He might point at Vince.
Sitting there just like juggling firebolts.
As the wife looks at the man who's standing there, who looks at her. They have like this meaningful look towards between each other, and then all of a sudden you see her face kind of where it was first concerned and quite loving. It turns a bit colder, and she says, "All right." She grabs her older son and just says, "Come, we must go see your sister." She kind of, you see the son just kind of standing there, and he has like this, his mouth is slightly open, and he's clearly not dealing well with all of this, and she just kind of leads him into the tunnel, and they both crawl out.
All right. Vern will turn to the rest of his party and go, "If you don't want to see this, I would leave now." And he looks at Vince and Ellie and Gemini.
See what?
I take out some trail mix and just start eating it like popcorn.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I take out the toy that I found that was broken and I start trying to fix it.
Okay, I'll turn back to the man.
See
And
what?
I'll go. Well, the fact that you have left means you're staying. Right, so he turns back to the man and he goes, "Firstly, where did you find this creature?"
You gave your word.
"I give my word I wouldn't hurt you."
His breathing becomes heavier. What do you want?
"I just want more information. How did the kobolds attack your house and why?"
I don't know.
Bullshit.
Did they attack when you were in it?
Yes.
I'm guessing your little girl got away in the fray.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not totally concerned about this creature too much, but do you dare lie to a paladin of Kelenvor? And he's going to intimidate him?
Roll your intimidation. You can do either two things.
That's it.
You can either roll charisma to intimidate him, or but you will have to like actually do something physical with him. I'll have you roll. I would also allow you your strengths to see if that is a better thing.
It probably would have been an intimidation, which Farron's pretty good at, but apparently not at the moment, since that was a natural one.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You like cough and like, all the dirt from the tunnel comes up as you said. Like
He's starting to speak with his gravelly voice. You know, maybe you shouldn't lie to a paladin of Kelenvor. Sorry, I need a drink of water.
Okay, he looks and says, "No, I would never lie."
Insight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's see here. That is a 13.
You don't trust this guy.
I don't trust this guy.
There's an echo in here. While they're doing that, I turn around to Ellie and sort of say, "What you know about these creatures? Can they fly?"
I don't know. I don't remember much. I mean, my great aunt Elilihana, Elilihani, what the fuck? Okay, my great aunt Lily Honey, she used to
Lady Gaga song.
tell me about these creatures when I was visiting her as a kid. And
Yeah, I was just thinking about the thing that you seen flying the farmhouse.
no,
Remember there
I-
was something
I-
moving?
no, I think it was smaller as well.
Hmm.
It wasn't that big, and I mean, this one looks pretty big. It looks pretty big, right?
Yeah, well, it's not like massive, but it's definitely much larger than a normal looking brain.
Okay. And they and they used to crawl. They didn't fly. It was never anything but flying. It always crawled out from under things, from dark spaces,
Right. I just carry on
and it
drawing
came
pictures of
from like the deeps and stuff.
How am I doing on fixing that toy?
You got it.
Do you have the mending skill of a spell?
I do not.
You do not. Okay, then it's just you need to get out your tools. And do you have any tools like woodworking or that sort of stuff?
I have alchemist supplies for some reason.
If only we had a gnome.
Yeah, we do, but the
Tinkering
gnome is
tools,
busy being
yeah.
scared by a brain.
Mm.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I have anything that could help. Nope.
No, you kind of look at it and you kind of press it against it, and you're hoping something clicks.
Mhm.
But no,
Nothing.
no.
Alright, just put it away and continue my short rest. As best
Okay.
I can.
Okay, so I'm gonna like walk up next to Varen, and like up to the man, and like try to look as intimidating as I can, my little small self.
All right.
And I'm like, wait, I have a question. I do have a question. Whose order are you following? You should tell me.
Roll your intimidation.
I hope she gets a 20 so bad.
Uh,
20 so bad.
Nope, it's a 3 plus intimidation, so that's a 6.
I don't work for nobody. I try to make a living.
Who do you work for?
Tell me right now.
Don't make me get rough.
Her bite's worse than her bark.
But do you even understand how dangerous these things are? The danger they pose.
It's just like, yeah, not yet. I have an idea, but that's why I'm researching.
Just sort of go over to him and go, yeah, don't take this the wrong way, but you're a farmer. What do you know about creatures that makes you think investigate this thoroughly? And
He
why?
looks at you and he says, I look like a farmer. I act like a farmer. That doesn't mean I am a farmer.
Looks like shit, smells like shit, it's probably shit.
Probably.
Okay. And if
You
you're
said
just a farmer, what are you?
Listen, I appreciate you guys helping me, but
I
It's none of
appreciate
your-
you answering my fucking question. Who and what are you?
I work.
Stand up. I start to act like I'm about to fire breathe again.
I work for the Church of Helm.
Church of Hell?
Helm.
Have you
I was gonna
have
say,
I
like,
heard
that's
of the
not
Church of
cool.
Helm? Have I heard of the Church of Helm?
Can I?
Roll of religion. You.
My roll a rhythm, yep.
Yeah, you. No, Varen, you will probably have heard the Church. Helm is a god of protection.
Okay, 14.
14.
Yeah.
He's a god of protection and is known to be a good god and somebody that protects people.
Okay.
Not just people, everybody.
Vern will turn back to him and say, "You said you weren't lying to me, but if you had just said you were from the Church of Helm, we could have walked away from the situation. So I assume you're not doing anything too nefarious, nor do I care.
No. It's
But
just research to defend ourselves better.
Have you done any research on the kobolds that have attacked your house?
No,
So you don't know much about why they would attack?
no.
You said defend yourself. Defend yourself from what?
These creatures.
These ones that poke the brain.
Yes, those ones.
Oh, okay. Put my hat on the brain as well. Yeah. He's wearing a hat.
It feels sticky and as you feel the lumps and things, you feel like there's a strange gooey substance on it. So and as you kind of lift your hand, there's a sucking experience.
I wipe my hand and I'm burning.
Vince, you shouldn't touch it!
Lovely.
You don't know if it's contagious. It may be contagious.
It's fine. Gain hold another firebolt. It's fine. Fire cures everything.
I'm gonna sit back down and continue my rest. Ask him, what is your name? I never caught your name.
Ewan.
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 Ewan. How do you spell it?
EWYN.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. And Ewan, how where will you go now that you're destroyed by fire?
I will go back to the monastery and inform them what happened here.
And your family, they'll go with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Where is the monastery? Just in case we need to, find you dinner.
He looks, and you see his brain going like, and he says, "It's a secret place."
But we're traveling like far and wide. What if we found out something about these creatures?
Then just tell a priest of Helm, and they will make sure that the information is shared.
I have a much better idea. You see, we're very good at finding secret places, as you can tell. And I want to make sure that you're on the up and up. I want to make sure that little girl isn't hurt. Your son, your wife, I could give a fuck about. I want to make sure that little girl isn't hurt. So I want to know where to find her, and more importantly, at this moment, where to find you.
Sort of just after he said that, I sort of poke over his shoulder, and I was like, as he said, we're good at finding secret places, and I sort of point to the smouldering bit down the thing that's just the smoke that's clearing, go, but we're not that discreet about it.
He looks at Varen and says, "Can't believe that one of your heritage would be the most level-headed in this group. Please, would you allow these men to speak to me in this matter?"
He stares at him, nice and long and awkward, and then walks out of the room.
You crawl out of the room?
Yeah, we'll crawl out of the room and up. And out.
Yeah, you walk away menacingly and then sort of...
Yeah.
I got this.
Okay, give me a minute. I've got this.
Wait, was it feet first or head first? What's the most efficient?
Someone push!
Okay, so while they're doing that, something strikes. Wait, did little girl tell me what the cat was called? Yes, she did. What was the cat called? The cat was called. Didn't write it down.
Fluffles.
No, Fluffles is my cat.
Oh, there's another cat?
Right, her cat that got killed.
Yeah, her cat got killed.
Was killed.
It was called something kind of similar.
This brain has paws. You said, are they cat's paws?
No, they're much more monstrous-like.
Oh, okay. It's kids that were making something out of the dead cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Was the cat called Snuffles? Yeah,
Oh,
her cat might have been
know.
called Snuffles.
Can't remember. Could just ask about her cat.
What was your cat's name?
Look, I don't name my cats.
Your kid's cat.
I don't know. I don't care about that cat.
How did it
You don't care about
die?
your kid's cat.
Sorry?
How did the cat die?
It died? He looks uninterested. I don't know.
Your daughter
I told her
said
not.
that it ate your cat. That something ate your cat.
It's probably those cobbles.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I see why the little girl was crying about the cat and not you.
Listen, just what do you want?
We want information, where you're going to be, what you're going to be doing, what was happening down here. You see, these things we've asked many times seem to elude your brain for some reason. It seems
Fine,
quite magical. Are you under a spell?
No. The monastery is in Endura.
How do you spell
It's the capital of.
Andura.
Well, not the capital, but the large harbor city.
it? Oh, yeah.
That's where I'm from.
Yep.
Yes, that's where I'm from.
Fantastic. Where at in Endura? It's the largest city, as you know.
It's just outside Endura in the forest.
Can I tell if he's lying?
Roll an insight.
I'll join with that.
Nope.
I think I got 19. Let me check. Yeah, 19.
Oh, he's just plucking things out of the air. Yeah, something is somewhere over there.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and use it to grab his collar and pull him towards me. Stop fucking lying to us right now, or I'm gonna let him do what he did to your house to your face.
Yeah. Juggling fireballs.
Roll an intimidation check with advantage.
All right.
Right, you've got to get this with advantage. Come on, we've failed.
Yeah, right. You would.
We have failed
So, man.
half an hour's worth of intimidation checks.
First one's not very good. Come on. Ooh, okay. That's a 16. That's respectable.
You see him sigh. Fine. I don't work for the monastery of Helm.
I looked at him shocked.
You lied to us?
You hear a wee voice from the tunnel. I know it.
Oh no!
As he kind of rubs his head. I found this creature when I was hunting with my son. It was dead when I found it. It was so weird. I thought I might be able to harvest some of its organs or whatever it has to sell, make some money. But when we tried to collect it, there were these kobolds, and they were kind of licking it. It seemed weird, but we waited until they left, and we took the body. After making sure it was dead, and, well, I had this basement, this room already dug, because I was planning on making some specific type of potions.
And what were these potions for? I'm assuming that's what the vials are, right? The vials that I threw into the well.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. Turns out that the liquid that this brain is excreting, if you take it, consume it in small doses, it can be very pleasurable.
Okay, so it's a drug.
Looking at my hand, it's still got some on it.
Don't you fucking dare! And I like smack with my quarterstaff.
Now, do I believe him this time?
Roll insight.
All right. Whew, buddy, not great. That's an 11.
You're not sure. He seems to. I mean, his story completely changed, and he looked a lot more broken than he did before.
Okay. All right. Well, now that we know you're not a part of the monastery, and we know that you're trying to peddle drugs for some reason, I have a few other questions. Where are you actually going to be going after this, since your home is destroyed?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Sort of go over to Gemini. I'm just like, right, let's let him go. Let him go back to his family. Let him see his daughter. Not that it looks like he cares too much, but I think we're gonna get all we've got from him.
You don't know me. You don't know what I feel for my daughter.
All we know is that you've been lying this whole time, and instead of telling us the truth outright, you've been hiding behind it rather than leave with your wife and son. That you can
Fuck you, man. You don't know me.
I will use Mage Hand to grab him by the throat and pull him against the wall as best I can.
You fucking strangers. Why the hell should I tell you?
Because we just rescued you from a bunch of bloody weird dragon imp things.
What? So I'm your fucking slave now?
Yes.
No, what? No!
No.
No!
What do you want me to say? God, we need to work these things out beforehand.
All right. So again, I go over to Jeb and I'm like, let the hand go.
Oh
Just let it
God!
go.
I'm getting too frustrated with this, like, and like, too scared by the brain, and I'm like, doesn't know what to do. So I just gonna walk out.
All right.
He's just too much.
You push Varen as you go. He's still
I'm probably out by now, so I would say.
All right. I'll let him go and just remind him one more time. Remember, though, if that little girl gets hurt, I will kill you.
Why would I hurt my own daughter?
I don't think you would, although you don't seem to care too much about anything but yourself. What I do think, however, is that the things that you yourself mixed up in because you're selfish and ignorant will get her hurt. And if that is the case, it will be your fault and you will die.
He waits a moment for Ellie to have kind of crawled into the hole, and he follows her.
Okay, I'm finished my short rest.
Can I go over and see if there's any more full vials? I think I already nicked one. Are there any more filled?
There are 2 filled, and one of them is
pinch them as well.
I'll while I'm doing that, I'll take off the box from my backpack after I know Guy's gone, and I'll give it to Vince. Let him deal with it. It's got vials in it and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
All
these might actually be worth money. Can I like try and juice, like ring the brain out to juice more into the vial?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
People in an alley, you want some brain juice? I got that good shit.
Start selling on the street corner.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Roll your dexterity.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure there'd be a stat for juicing
Or
brains.
do you have any specialties of alchemy or something?
Let me see. I have medicine. Medicine.
Oh, medicine is maybe a better check than just roll medicine.
Okay, so that is 25.
25. Whoa! You just like it's a beer tap here. And you quickly have 12 of these vials filled, and then you notice that it no longer gives you any juice.
It's just a wither.
It's just a dried out brain.
Yeah.
Okay. You can roll to see if you can.
The vials, do I still need to keep them in that big chest, or are they small enough that I can like just stash them in pockets and backpack and stuff and leave the chest?
You could probably they don't seem to how do I say wear hardy, so they seem quite fragile.
Okay.
So they're not meant to like just cling around in a backpack and if you buy like potions and carry them along, they're usually put in quite sturdy glass. These seem quite fragile, so
Okay. So,
you
okay,
wouldn't
so
advise
I'll-
yourself to just dump them in your backpack and cling them
Yeah.
around.
Okay. Okay. So I'll keep them in the. In fact, I have anything that I could wrap them in.
Okay, so you can note down that you have 12 vials of brain juice.
Branches.
Okay.
Can't they go back into the
Varen,
case?
yeah, they can. They can definitely go back in the. Varen, you and at a later point, Ellie, go back upstairs. What do
I'll be leaning on the wall, just on the farmhouse, wait for them to come out, and I'll maybe take a quick perception just to make sure there's no kobolds arriving.
Nope, it seems pretty quiet.
Could Varen have maybe
Um,
helped me out, because I don't think I can get out on my own.
He'll probably help you, yeah.
Okay.
If I hear her, I'll come and help her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Then I'm also out, and
Okay. After a while, you will see the man, and he looks at you and then just hurries off towards the village.
I also clean myself off with prestidigitation.
Okay. Dirt just jumps off of you, and you see Varen is also quite dirty.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, just lean on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have taken all the fire. You guys go out as well?
I'd like.
Yeah,
I'd like
you're
to
probably
make an
you're probably going to do the same thing as me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
one at a
okay.
time. One at a time, guys.
Good.
I just want to make an investigation roll, make sure there's nothing that we're leaving behind.
Okay.
Nope.
Now, well, the only thing that you would say, depending on what you're looking for, is that the tools might be worth money.
No, throw them in the backpack.
Okay.
Oh my god!
What,
You're
Robbing him now?
robbing the man of who burnt down the house. What's wrong with you guys?
Fine, it's fine. On our way out, the cobalt bodies, especially the one that had the cloak on it, did they have anything on them? Can I do a quick sort of pat down, see if they've got anything?
Yeah, sure.
Necking?
I'm assuming you'll create some light when.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I ever dismissed that light ball, so I just have it sort of following.
Okay. So you look through the cobbles, and pretty much two of them have been burned to a cinder, and anything useful they would have had is probably burned by this point. The one with the cloak, who is actually like stabbed through the mouth or through the back of the head. It turns out that it wasn't a cloak. It turns out that they were actually wings that it had kind of like wrapped on its back, and yeah, that it kind of looked like a cloak when it just passed by. But
Are these wings?
you
that have,
grab the wing and then you actually can pull it out, and it's quite an impressive span for such a small creature.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy if that's it. Then I
Yeah.
I clear it.
With the goblin of skilled that has the wing, it has a dagger with him, but it seems unimpressive. So it seems just like a standard dagger.
Yeah, then I'll leave it behind.
Okay.
Sort of shout back to Gemini. There's a dagger there if you want it.
No, I'm okay. I have plenty.
All right.
I take it anyways.
Okay, so you guys head out, climb, and regroup at the farmhouse. And seeing as it's close to 10:30, we'll call it quits here, and we'll pick it up in 2 weeks.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
because I'll be busy with Christmas next week. I hope everybody will have a wonderful time, and I'll be certain to watch and see how you guys speculate on what's going to happen and stuff like that.
Well,
So I want to thank everybody. Is there anything you guys want to say?
yeah. As we said at the start of the stream, and as here kind of said right now, is that we'll still be streaming the 20. I'm gonna actually double check the date this time because apparently I'm bad with dates. The 26th. So that's the second day of Christmas. We will still be streaming, probably a little bit shorter, but we will be here at 19 p.m. or 7 p.m. GMT.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we've done up we intro videos for our characters, just sort of describing what we look like and a bit of our backstory. So that should be going up soon-ish, as soon as we've coupled it all together.
That's
Anyone
one
who's
of the
keen?
reveals we were planning to do next week.
Yes.
Ruining the surprise! Oh my god! Freaking Buffard!
Well, you need to tell me.
You
Buffard!
can't take you anywhere, Brains. Yeah, man.
It's just you can only take me somewhere twice, and the second time's to apologize.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks everybody.
Yes.
No other questions, you guys? I think we call it quits here.
Also, if you have any questions and something you maybe want us to bring up in the stream, hit us up on Twitter. We will look at it, answer, and probably bring it up during the stream because we like doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
So, see you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.